WRAL's 5 on Your Side is addressing your election complaints and concerns.
In the past month, viewers have sent us dozens of emails and messages related to voting in this election cycle. One email came from a Wake County voter who called Keeley after being turned away from a voting site.
Nicholas Snell drove from his Zebulon home to this early voting site off of Dogwood Drive. He realized he forgot his wallet, an honest mistake. But according to his account, what elections officials told him next was wrong. Nicholas Snell has never contacted the media before until last week, when he says he was turned away from voting after forgetting his ID.
It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because I know it didn't seem right.
Last year, North Carolina started requiring voters to show a photo ID. But this is important. Voters can still vote without one by filling out a provisional ballot. After doing that, if you forgot your ID at home, you can bring it back to your voting location and your ballot will be counted. But if you don't have an acceptable form of ID, you can fill out an ID exception form. Properly filled out, ballots must be counted. Snell says he wasn't offered either option, even after asking workers at the polling site.
I scanned the sign outside and it says that I still could do my voting with this, exception form and provisional ballot. He was like, well, they said, you have to have an ID. So I was like, oh, okay, well, so I was like, are you guys not doing that process? And he's like, well, you have to have an ID. I was like, okay, thank you.
That's a big problem.
WRAL state government reporter Will Dorn.
If someone is telling you that you need to leave and you're not allowed to vote because you don't have an ID, they're telling you the wrong thing. That is not what state law says.
We sent Snell's complaint to the Wake County Board of Elections. They would not comment on this specific incident, but Director Olivia McCall reiterated the steps those without IDs can take.
If you really don't have one and you want to vote, then you would just go to our help table and they would provide you with that exception form and you would vote provisionally.
Snell returned home, grabbed his ID, and ended up voting.
I don't care who they vote for, but I think that if you have the right to vote, you should be able to.
If you run into an issue at the polls and you feel like you're being told inaccurate information, you should ask to speak with the chief judge. There is one at every voting site. Keeley Arthur, 5 on Your Side.
Good stuff to know. And you can always have the information right at your fingertips. Use the WRAL voter guide to help you to make your voting plan. Enter your address. You can find a sample ballot there. Check your voter registration. Make sure that's ready to go. And also some of the early voting times and places where you can vote. Find it all on WRAL.com. Just search for vote.